Well, this is an amazing spread, and I think the thing that impresses me most is how so many of the ingredients come from your own organic garden.
I know for a fact now that in Balik Pulau in Penang, those farmers who are actually rice farmers are now planting vegetables in between the rice house. I think there's a big major comeback now to growing your own food and eating what you grow and loving what you eat. Yeah. A Malay garden cuisine encourages the consumption of living plants, shoots, rhizomes, tubers and fruits grown in an organic garden. An organic garden thrives on compost derived from bio-waste products.
So, why permaculture? Why conserve? Why are we contaminating our diet with industrial meats, fruits, vegetables, aided with chemicals to grow and ripen them?
Here's the real fact. 40% of waste in a landfill consists of food waste and other material that can be composted.
In the global economy of land and forest destruction for animal husbandry on a massive scale, we forget the simple origins of human food.
It's the idea and potential of composting. Instead of discarding, for example, food waste, cut grass and dried leaves, right? These materials can be recycled again by either being placed on a heavily cultivated area or soil, or used as the basis for new plots earmarked for cultivation.
Do you remember this nursery rhyme we had to learn at school? If all the seas were one sea, what a great sea that would be. And if all the trees were one tree, what a great tree that would be. And if all the axes were one axe, what a great axe it would be. And if all the men were one man, what a great man he would be. And if the great man took the great axe and cut down the great tree and let it fall into the sea, what a splish splash that would be. Being such a young child, I didn't really think much about the implications of the rhyme. I was too busy having fun. Being the great man, making the sweeping movements with the great axe, chopping down the great tree and then jumping around to mimic the splish splash in our imaginary world of greatness and oneness. And suddenly, that once innocent nursery rhyme took on a more sinister side, haunting me with thoughts of nature's ultimate destruction, humanity's destruction soon to follow. There is no great man with a great axe cutting one great tree, just many little men and women with little axes and an infinite number of trees. How do we conserve what's left? How do we share it amongst ourselves?
Our Malay Garden Cuisine project does not support the human consumption of dead or living animals and encourages a diverse range of vegetables to be included in our local diets. Our oceans are increasingly polluted with plastics, and until we show greater responsibility to recycle our waste in a more sustainable and humane way, we should respect the rights of animals, fish and crustaceans and stop harvesting them for food.
Food has been a major theme of our work, so we're trying to raise awareness both in the formal educational sector but also amongst the wider community about the importance of food sovereignty. So this is people's right to good, nutritious food.
Now, permaculture encapsulates many fields like rewilding, regenerative agriculture, community resilience. Ground control represents two, regenerative agriculture, which is conservation and rehabilitation of soil, food and farming, and community resilience, adapting and thriving in an ever-changing world of today.
The Pan-Pacific Southeast Asia Women's Association, or PASIVA Malaysia, one of the oldest established NGOs in Malaysia, devoted to women and family development in peace times, has for many years now committed itself to waste management programs, including campaigns against the use of plastics in households and eateries. In Penang, PASIVA Life is equally committed to conserving a balanced ecology and lifestyle for families and community, and supports programs of permaculture, where bio-waste from restaurants is converted into compost, which is then recycled back to grow organic plants and herbs. PASIVA was drawn to heritage eateries like Jawi House, a Jawi Peranakan restaurant in Georgetown, in the core zone of this UNESCO heritage city, which initiated this venture in 2015. A diversity of vegetables and herbs served in Jawi House comes from herbal plots at the back of the restaurant in Armenian Street and from our Tanjung Bunga garden. So in a sense, we are conserving a Malay garden cuisine, which Malay and Nyonya women used to do for centuries until they moved into apartments. Their gardens shrunk and there was less space to grow these plants.
Schools are the perfect catalyst for a change in the mindset of the younger generation. Right? It comes down to empowering them and initiating a desire to make a move or initiate a difference without anyone having to prod them along.
The formal education work is focused on particularly raising people's awareness about that huge problem of the impending climate catastrophe. In nurturing plants, in planting seeds, of nurturing the plants, of harvesting, processing and then eating the food, they understand the food cycle. They understand the importance it has to all our lives and all our futures. And so we can make sure that young people take up that challenge and become part of the solution.
Humans will eventually learn that they have to conserve the resources around them or revert back to a simpler way of living. In essence, we have to go back in time to restore lost resources for the present to enjoy a sustainable future. Time marches on, but living in time itself is a cyclical process. Let us not waste and devolve. Conserve and regenerate.
We should go back to our more tribal days, be more down to earth, grow what we eat and eat what we grow.